In this video, I'm going to show you how you can edit your writing with maximum efficiency. And I love efficiency, so here we go. And make sure to stick around to the end because I'm actually going to show you, illustrate how this process looks using a word processing software. So you may be thinking, well, can't I just hire an editor? And absolutely you can. I know lots of people that do that. You need a budget for that, of course. So you may want to consider, however, a point that I read in Patricia Goodson's book, Becoming an Academic Writer, which I reference a lot because I found it very useful. So listen to this quote. It's on page 108 of the third edition. It says, "The best thing you can do to improve the quality of your writing is to take on the hard, meticulous task of editing yourself. Editing your own work improves the quality of all your writing. No other investment pays higher and better dividends." I agree. I agree. The times I have edited my work, which is kind of always, has really helped me grow as a writer in terms of my quality. However, I didn't always know how to edit, and that's why I want to talk to you about how you can edit. So if you want to improve the quality of your work, do the editing yourself, basically. So let's say you're ready to try it. So if you're like me, as I was saying, editing can feel overwhelming. Like, where do you start? To look at punctuation and grammar and organization, and the list goes on and on and on. Here's how you can edit your writing with maximum efficiency. So basically there's two things to keep in mind. Number one is to be aware of exactly the things you need to edit for. And number two is to be organized about the process. Let me show you what I mean. So in point one, being aware of what to edit for, especially if you're editing your own writing, can be tricky. So this is why I highly recommend getting good feedback on your writing. So if you're wondering what I mean by good feedback or useful feedback, you'll definitely want to check out my video on that later, and I'll share it with you towards the end of this video. But if you don't have good feedback yet, I found Patricia Goodson's book, the one from which the quote came, and I'll drop a link to the book here in this video. I found it extremely helpful in making me aware of what I need to pay attention to improve my academic writing. For example, she has a whole chapter on editing and proofreading, and it walks you through how to tighten your paragraphs, how to organize your overall structure for flow, and how to make your sentences clearer. That's a very helpful checklist just right there. And second, being organized about the process can simply be following Goodson's structure, actually, of number one, first looking through all your paragraphs to tighten them. Then number two, fixing the overall structure and flow of the manuscript. And number three, editing at the sentence level at the very end. So there's actually a rhyme and reason for following this order, and if there's interest, I may make a video to illustrate these processes, but I'm happy to share it if people are interested. So if you are, definitely comment below on that. And if you're still watching and finding this content helpful, please subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so that you get more content like this to help you with your academic writing. So let me illustrate how a quick round of editing at the sentence level can look. So I'm actually going to use the newsletter that's related to this video. If you're not subscribed to my newsletter, I'll also drop that link in the box below. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the newsletter I wrote, and I was pretty happy at this phase with the paragraphs, the overall flow. So I want to look at it at the sentence level. And I'm going to be using a checklist also from Goodson's book on how to do this. There's a whole checklist of words to go through in the book, but I'm just going to illustrate two tiny words. Keep in mind that what I'm going to show you is a newsletter. It is not a giant empirical research piece like the ones I used to write all the time and that you're probably writing. This is much simpler writing. So with editing rounds, I'm using Microsoft Word, and it has a search feature. So Patricia Goodson has a list of words around that she recommends looking for to help clarify your writing. So one of them is the word of, just of, OF, right? And so what you see Word does is it highlights where all the ofs are. So, of course, also within words in this case. So you ignore that. So let me show you. So if I'm looking at this first of here, I see I wrote this sentence that says, it improves the quality of all your writing. Okay, that's not bad. Now, but if I was wanting to be more succinct and especially cut words, I could say it improves your writing quality, maybe, right? Your writing quality. So there we go. So that helped me reduce word count if I really needed to do that. Oh, I lost my ubs. I will go back up here. Oh, look at this one. The process of editing, still challenging. I'm missing a word. Sometimes that happens. Is. But also, I can change the process of editing to the editing process if I need to reduce word count. And it also just makes things tighter. So the editing process. There we go. So you get the gist of that. I'm not going to continue here. Another word that's often problematic, though I've learned majorly to not use it, because when I started editing my writing, I realized how much I used it. It scared me. And so now I think sometimes I can write without this word and it's scary. And I think sometimes you need this word. It's the word that. So notice I don't have very many of them, but I used to have many, many, many of them. So here, for example, my problem with editing is that the process can feel overwhelming. So I could think about how I could make that more succinct. Maybe, let's see. The problem with editing. I don't know if I could change that. Do you have ideas? Drop them in the comment box, please. Or I could just say, my problem is that the editing process can feel overwhelming. But I'm still using that. So yeah, help me with the comments. All right, let's see if I can fix something else. This one simple strategy helped me manage editing my work so that it was not overwhelming. I mean, technically I could take that out. And it still makes sense. Here I'm saying that is sometimes a problematic word. Here, my point is that whatever you're editing for is best done in rounds, okay? Here, I could just say, whatever you are editing for is best done in rounds. I'm still not super happy with this, actually. I might think about how I might rephrase that, and you can see it in my final newsletter. But the thing I wanted you to see here is that looking for these problematic words actually might show you other places where you might not be so clear, not just because of the word. Maybe your ideas aren't fully formed exactly. This is also extremely helpful if you need to cut words. Like, I know when I would write research proposals for conferences and there were word limits, or even manuscripts, research manuscripts, and there were word limits, and I was pulling my hair trying to figure out how to reduce my word count. Doing this particular activity was unbelievably helpful in reducing word count. You'd be amazed at how quickly you can cut down words with this. So that's what editing rounds look like. And the idea is to do it for your whole manuscript and then go like to the next round and then the next round, and to do it in small chunks. It actually can be kind of a fun process. Make sure to also check out my video on how to give and receive useful feedback. It's related, so I'll see you in that video soon. If not, I'll see you next time. So happy writing, productivity, and truth seeking. Okay, bye-bye.